Hello, everyone, and welcome to Meme of the Month. I am so excited to be back, and I'm just double checking that really the stream is going. Yes, yes, it is. Lovely. With the way technology has been lately, you can't be too careful. It is wonderful to have everyone back. We are playing yet another random meme that we found on the internet. We have three players and a lovely GM tonight. And we'll just do a quick introduction of who we are as players, not who we are as characters, and then we'll turn it over to our lovely GM. First up, we have Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl, she, they. I was here for the
Oh,
Scooby-Doo-esque
yeah.
caper a couple months ago. Happy to be back.
Awesome. And we also have Rob joining us.
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm he, they, and I have cats, and I'm in a basement, and I've never been here before, and this is awkward. Next.
Okay, you guys probably know me by now. I'm Danny. You can find me all over the internet as Danielle Lanois and hanging out an awful lot here. And then running our game tonight is Alondra.
Hello, I am Alondra, aka Lady Bedivere. You have probably seen me numerous times on Meme of the Month, at least in the earlier part of last year. And I also sometimes pop up on the Quests and Chaos channel, running things over there. I'm very excited to finally be back with more horrifying meme shenanigans. It's my favorite. So with that, I guess I will take over because, to be perfectly honest, nobody knows what's happening here because nobody knows who they're playing, or what they're playing, or anything. The meme this month, which you can see over on the side of our screen, is a very classic one that has made the rounds, in which you start your D&D game with a blank character sheet, and you must learn all about your character by just diving right in. And so these crazy folks agreed to do this live on stream, and that is what we are going to do right now. Uh as the three of you feel the black go to white, that bright white, like almost painful white, as your eyes start to blink open and the light sort of filters back in. I guess that's actually not entirely true. Because uh L Rob, you it doesn't hurt you particularly. It is a definite shift though. You feel the black suddenly like switch to white as you sort of, and then you open your eyes and it is now light. Everybody sort of blinks. Um Inga, Flower, splitting headaches. This was a rough one. Uh you don't Nobody drank that much last night. You definitely were on the road getting going, or at least you're pretty sure you got going. As you all sort of look around and you start to realize that the light is coming from the sun, streaming through the trees, which you are staring up at from the ground that you are all laying on. And as you slowly start to sit up and kind of look around, first of all, everything hurts. At least for Inga and Flower. Um, Elle, you don't hurt because the mechanics of your body don't feel pain. That's not programmed in. Um, but you do feel like maybe things are a little out of whack. Like your joints could use maybe some readjust, some recalibrating. Maybe things do not totally feel correct. Um, as you all sit up and look around, and you see strewn around you other bodies and the broken carriage. Looks like the horses have been cut off of, and just stuff everywhere. Trunks that have been yanked open and rifled through. Explorers' packs and bags, scattered weapons. Some were dropped, some were broken. As you wake up in the aftermath of whatever this ambush, fight, highway robbery was. Weird thing is, you don't remember. how you got here. You don't remember what happened. You honestly, like, you don't remember a lot. And it's very disconcerting. You sit up and look around. You kind of look down, start checking yourselves over. And I guess I can't ask you to describe your characters because you don't know. What you see as you look around, respectively, is a warforged who is slowly sort of sitting up, testing out their joints. A wood elf, a big old goose egg, and looks like they really took the brunt of maybe a lot of whatever this fight was. Pretty screwed up. And a tiefling, who is got a lot of layers that are very disheveled that are now being put in order. Inga, you are, of course, the tiefling. Flower, you are the wood elf.
Oh, I love that.
L, as I will continue to call you, because there's a large letter L on one of the panels. It looks like there might have been other letters there. They're just kind of too scuffed and covered to read. You are, of course, the Warforged, and you start to sit up and look around. It looks like you guys definitely got jumped. There was a huge fight here, and everybody's stuff is in disarray. You see bodies of a bunch of goblins, as well as a bunch of humans, elves, dwarves. It looks like you were probably traveling with this coach, and you got attacked. You don't remember any of it.
I think we won.
I hope we won. Ooh.
What do we win?
Lives apparently.
Yeah.
Okay. How many bodies are around us? Like, and can we tell? Like, does it look like bandits? Does it look like we were escorting someone and failed? Does it?
Go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Okay.
Which in this case is you're gonna roll a d20.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what number you get.
Well, it's a 9 on the die.
Cool. With a 10, you
Great.
get a basic lay of the land. Which is you count about 7 dead goblins and a couple of looks like wolves or something. Kind of scraggly, screwed up looking wolves, so probably partnered with the goblins. You're getting that impression. They're kind of the like mangy, deranged kind of wolf. About 7 goblins, like 2 wolves. And you see a dwarf, an elf, and 2 humans. You also, just on like the quick scan, you do actually pick up that the dwarf, elf, and humans are wearing like uniforms of some sort that have like some pennants and some insignia on it. You also see that Flower has a similar insignia on what they are wearing. And you find near you another, like, it's yours is more like a scarf that has this insignia on it, as opposed to like they all seem to have kind of like official like badges. Like they have part of a uniform, you have the
ascot.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Okay.
And L has this insignia like etched into a shoulder plate.
I think we match. Do I belong? Do you belong to me? Do I belong to you?
I hope none of us belong to anyone else here.
Yeah, no. I'd like to also look around and look for that insignia on anything else, like on parts of a cart or on any like luggage or crates or anything around us?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to go ahead and give me also an investigation check?
That would be a 4.
Cool. Your 3 is really difficult to read. You're kind of still struggling to see, and then you realize it's because you have blood in your eyes. Because head wounds, even if they're not drastic, like bleed a lot, and it's kind of caked in there, and
Yeah.
you're something like,
Uh-huh.
takes you a minute to start
Yeah.
kind of cleaning up.
Yeah.
You notice that you probably are the most injured. I will say that, like, even with 3, like, you are able to kind of figure that out. It seems like you have taken the most damage of the 3 of you who are not dead.
All right. I hurt.
Do you need like a band-aid or something? Hold on. Do I have anything on me? Bandages or a medicine kit? Or
You look around. I'm gonna say, everyone go ahead and roll me for perception as you guys look around and start also trying to figure out which stuff is yours. Like, you can start to figure out, like, what is clearly, like, that's some shitty goblin weapons versus this probably came from this very fancy looking coach that we seem to have been traveling with. But, like, trying to figure out anything that looks like it specifically is attached to you.
All right. Well, that would be another 4 for Flower. Apparently, my dice hate me today, so we're gonna.
3, 4. Okay. That brings you to a total of 8
Okay.
for your
Okay.
perception.
Elle got a 4 as well, matching as much as possible.
Cool. That's a straight up 4, bro. Good job.
I got a 13.
13. Let me find. So with your 15, you're able to start kind of piecing things together. You scribble around and you find you're wearing a lot of like everybody with these kind of uniforms is in a little bit more neutral tones. There's like, it's a lot of like brown leather armor or like chainmail, like those kinds of things. It looks like some of them have been stripped. Not fully naked, but like the more valuable stuff, like some of their armor was maybe pulled off, but you can see a couple of them. It looks like they didn't, either people ran away too soon or it was too hard to get off of them. They all seem to be wearing fairly like these neutral basic armor pieces with red and gold accent coloration. You, however, are wearing a lot of flowy blue and purple.
I am?
Yes. You got a lot, like, there's a lot of like scarves and drapes happening, which allows you to very quickly notice there is one like leather bag that's been kind of like spilled out and pawed through that has a similar like blue and purple scarf kind of tied onto it. Probably yours.
Okay.
You go over and you start rifling through. You do not find any like specific medical accoutrement in your bag. You do find a bunch of like grease paint.
Oh.
And some like prosthetic, like a prosthetic nose and like some prosthetic like ear tips that make you look more elfy. It looks like there might have been some other stuff in that pouch that maybe got spilled or destroyed or whatever, but you kind of see that in a smaller bag or next to a smaller bag where it got dumped out.
Okay. Well, I don't have a band-aid, but I do have a lot of fabric we can probably just like plug it up with.
Yeah. Let's cover this thing. Make it stop.
Flower, as you kind of put your hand to your forehead and are like trying to like get the blood, you suddenly feel a rush of like almost like your headache going away.
Oh.
And you realize the blood has stopped flowing. As you did that.
Well, that was cool.
I know you do not know your current hit point total, but make a note that you are plus 5 HP.
Oh, great. I'm feeling a little better.
Elle's gonna look down at themselves and see if they're wearing any clothes or any other things.
You kind of have like a tunicky situation on. It's a little bit torn and scuffed up. It looks like it maybe have got jammed into some of your one of your like hip joints is a little more exposed. It looks like maybe the plate got kind of pulled off in the fight, and so it kind of got jammed up in there, so it's a little shredded. But you essentially have almost like a little bit of a like a tabard situation going on, which seems more of a like the humans are uncomfortable with the idea of the metal man not having clothes when they do than anything that you actually need.
Elle's just kind of going, oh, my pants. They messed up all my favorite clothes, I think.
Oh, do we need to find you some pants?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm shy.
Do you feel shy?
I don't have shame, I don't think. Just kind of like look down and like pat themselves. Is anything like weird down here?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it
Well,
should look like.
me neither.
But we know each other, right? We like very clearly know each other at least.
I mean, we all have the same little picture
Right.
thing, so we must.
Okay.
Maybe we work together?
Am I the boss? Because mine's big.
But,
You might be.
or, yeah, maybe.
Or is that the boss? Just like point at body.
You do notice that one of the dead humans, is this very like beefy woman. She does have the insignia. She does also have like a bunch of little like danglies off of her insignia that nobody else has.
That's the boss.
Was.
Well,
Or she
not
just really likes
anymore.
bedazzling. Well, I guess we should search her, right? To see if she had like instructions or something.
Like a
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll search her
Cool. Excuse me.
because I don't have any shame.
If you don't feel it, it doesn't exist. I will also say, because I didn't establish this beforehand, you are welcome to choose whatever pronouns feel right for your character. I will continue to default to they until such time as you select, but I have kept that intentionally open for whatever everyone's vibing with. Because that's how we do around here in Amnesia Land. We're more concerned with not dying.
Through that.
Elle, you start searching around. Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
All right, I'm feeling lucky. Pretty lucky. Got an 18.
An 18. With your dirty 20, you very quickly start to go through it, and you find that thankfully, because of the way this person landed, she is one of the ones who still has her armor on. It looks like it's kind of hiked up, like somebody tried to pull off like her breastplate, but the like straps on the side got too jammed up and then they gave up. So everything she's got tucked down in like pouches and things is kind of still intact. They didn't really get a chance to rifle through it. And you do find a few things. You find a little pouch of gold. There's about 15 gold in there. And you find a packet of letters and official looking documents, a bunch of which are sealed and have this insignia that you're all wearing on the wax seal. So there's about 3 letters that are sealed. One is addressed to His Highest Royal Majesty somebody. One is addressed to like a Baron so-and-so, and one is addressed to Captain somebody. None of these names are names that you recognize, but there's one to a king, one to a baron, one to a captain. You also find that there is an unsealed letter in here that when you flip it open, gives instructions to, did I pull up my list of arbitrary names? I have to find it. I had one earlier.
Bilbo Baggins.
Giorgio.
Baggins.
Giorgio Baggins, the famous
The Italian
holiday.
Baggins.
Yeah, sure. Let's. I guess it would actually be Georgia Baggins. This is
Georgia
a lady, so we'll make it easy. Yeah, Georgia Baggins. It's addressed to Corporal Georgia Baggins, and it is in fact a list of instructions for. It's essentially a report of warnings that there has been a lot of criminal activity on the main roads going through the Great Forest into the neighboring kingdom, and that it might be prudent to take a side route for the safety and comfort of the princess, in order to prevent any unpleasantness from occurring right before the grand celebration of her wedding, because she's so delicate and you don't want to upset her. There's a bunch of other very like weird minutia stuff about like, and please remember if you're traveling over rough terrain to, introduce extra padding into the wagon. The springs can only do so much to prevent from rattling and shaking. A list of very extreme dietary restrictions. This princess appears to be gluten-free, vegan, keto. Highly specific. And then a little like scribbled an extra note that looks like it's written in like last minute in somebody else's handwriting, possibly Georgia's herself. That's just this little side note that says, "This honestly would have been faster if we went by boat, but I guess she's too seasick now. This wasn't a problem last year." And it looks like somebody just adding a little flavor commentary. But you do find this message. It appears that you are part of the royal entourage.
Elle's just kind of gonna look around and go, "Well, so much for the unpleasantness."
I don't feel. I'm not dressed like a princess, I don't think. But you're kind of not in armor. Are you the princess?
I mean, I don't think I'm a princess. Nope. I
Could
feel
be
like
me.
it could be Elle. Yeah, I feel like I could eat like a whole turkey right now. So probably
so not
not.
vegan. Okay.
Probably not.
Got it. Okay. Oh yeah, that would have been an easy way to figure it out.
Yeah.
Just have some bread, see how it goes.
I will say, Flower. You, as you look at, you are. What do you? Let me tell you correctly what you are actually wearing. You are currently wearing sort of the padded under things that look very similar to what some of these other kind of guard types are. It definitely seems like you should have something over it, but it seems like maybe you were one of the folks who got it pulled off. So you don't currently have whatever your over armor is, but you are wearing the correct undergarments to be padded for probably something like chainmail or a heavy breastplate. You also I'm just gonna say, like, again, you guys have some of this innate sense of your own bodies and stuff, right? You are able to kind of like, as you're checking yourself out, your hands are very strong and calloused.
Okay.
You're pretty like, and you're looking around and you're looking at like the weapons that are strewn around, and you feel like you could probably grab any one of them and it would just come back to you. You get the sense that you are probably a very hands-on fightery type.
Okay.
It'd be nice if you could remember which of these weapons specifically was yours, if one of them was, because there's always that special bond you have with your weapon.
Yeah.
But you also feel like in a pinch you could grab any one of these swords and probably be just fine.
I don't. Do you guys want to look at some other stuff? I want to pick up these things.
Yeah. Test them out.
I want to pick up all the weapons, see if I feel. I know. I'll know. I'm sure I'll know. I think I'll know when I pick mine up. And so, yeah, I just want to start picking up the various swords and axes and whatever's around. See if I can find mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you go ahead and start and just start kind of like picking things up, kind of like giving things a little swing, tossing some of the smaller, just kind of feeling it out, seeing what comes back to you naturally. Roll me a d20.
That would be a 2. I think
Cool,
I need
okay.
to not play with the silicone dice that bounce around. Because it keeps being
Oh.
almost good.
First dice jail of the game.
Dice jail, yes.
Oh, it's so fun playing with all my 3D printer friends who just have these increasingly elaborate and gorgeous dice jails. Awesome. You just start going around feeling things out. You definitely, the swords feel the most right. Overall, compared to anything else. As you are kind of rooting around, you get closer over to where the carriage is, and you see there's actually kind of a pile of stuff. It looks like this kind of raid happened. They started like stripping bodies, looting chests, whatever, and then anything that they deemed either like too heavy, didn't work for them, whatever, like kind of got dumped in this pile. So there's actually a pile that's got a lot of pretty good stuff that looks like it kind of got abandoned on the way out. And as you approach that, you do suddenly kind of get this weird sense from this one item. It's not a sword, actually. There is this kind of bizarre looking item there. It's on a long stick. It's got a little chain, and then on the end it's got like a metal ball, and so it kind of looks like a flail a little bit.
Okay.
But it's one of those metal balls. It's got all these little holes poked in it, and you get this like waft of incense out of it that just immediately, like, sense memory is so strong, right? And it just immediately gives you almost this like flashback of kneeling in like a big church building with like these gorgeous stained glass windows, a lot of reds and golds in them, but also just like a lot of other colors, with these beautiful like figures of maybe like historical warriors or something. And you just have this like flash of this moment, and like kneeling in this big, beautiful, almost cathedral, surrounded by this smell of this incense, and being filled with this sense of like investiture in your task. Like, this was a moment when something happened and you were like, yes, this is my calling.
Okay, I'm gonna grab this not quite flail with both hands and play with it, swing it around. It's feeling right?
It feels very right. Again, like, you don't think this is the only weapon you use, but you definitely feel like this, if not directly yours, is still somehow kind of meant for you. I'm going to send you what this is, and you may share it with the group or not at your discretion.
Okay.
I think Elle's gonna see this and start doing the same thing and start picking stuff up and just wiggling it around and maybe accidentally hitting himself in the forehead with a staff or something.
It's funny you should mention that. You also start doing this. You start feeling things out. One of the interesting things that happens is you go to pick up, just like, it is like a big long, there's a dagger. It feels weird. There's an axe. It kind of like, the metal kind of grates against your hand plate. It's kind of funky. You pick up this like big wooden stick and just like, almost without thinking about it, just start twirling it around. Just like it's the most normal, and maybe you even startle yourself with like how easy it is to just be like, oh yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah, he's just gonna start twirling around like, oh, this is awesome. I can do stuff. This is great. This must be mine. I wonder if it has my initials in it.
Give me another investigation check. I know it's in the laundry game, but we could roll some dice.
It's a 19 plus that 2, I believe.
Yeah. You take a look at it. Let me toggle over things here. You do actually see carved into the side of this is let me finish sending details of this weapon to Danny, and then I will tell you what you see in here. You see.
If it says made in China, I'm gonna be real disappointed.
No, you see this sequence carved into the side. But yeah, no, this thing definitely feels like it's appropriate for you. Like you feel very comfortable with this weapon. You also, like, as you kind of pick this up, you get a sense of like connection to this specific staff.
Interesting. I think my name is Elmo.
Elmo. All right.
Huh?
Hi,
I
Elmo.
guess. Either it's a maker's mark or it's my initials. I don't know.
I would like you to know that I picked this name before I realized I could write it in Leet speak, and then I was like, perfect. I picked it for other reasons, which I will reveal later, but yeah, you can now add this quarterstaff. And I will say that it does have other properties. You just haven't quite unlocked them yet.
Does L, like, holding it feel like there's something else going on with it? Like there's like
you do. You feel like this is more than just. It definitely just looks like a standard quarterstaff, but when you pick it up and you handle it, you get the sense that there is more to this. Yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
Elle would just start whacking it on stuff to see what happens then.
Okay.
Like dead bodies, the carriage, everything. Like go
Yeah.
run over to a tree. It'd be like
Yeah.
a real Scooby-Doo moment, just running back and forth, hitting
Yeah.
stuff with this stick.
You just start cracking around. Flower and Inga, as you guys, you both kind of watch this, and you do notice, you hadn't really, like, you guys haven't moved around a lot. Again, everyone's really stiff. Everyone still feels pretty, like, y'all took a walloping. But you do notice that Elle is really fast. Like almost certainly faster than both of you.
Okay. Nice.
And Elle's just giggling, running back and forth, whacking stuff with this stick. Like, I'm good at this. Look at me go.
Elle, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Ooh.
So I can give you some more fun info about yourself.
I don't think you're gonna give me much because it was a 5.
I actually can get you quite a bit because that's an 11, and as you are running back and forth, you just start like incorporating in like these weird like kicking off the tree, like not full parkour, but like very mild level, like kind of kicking off the tree in like really cool ways, and it's like doing like little spins and stuff. That is your acrobatics modifier. Say +6. Yeah, this is a very like this giant metal man or giant metal personoid is actually like really dexterous and good at moving. He's a little clunky. It's a little bit of clunk on the one arm and the one hip where maybe some damage was taken in this fight, but still doesn't seem to be that much of a problem. As y'all are kind of digging through these piles, looking around, trying to investigate, I'm gonna have everybody roll me a survival check. That is a skill that we have not addressed yet, but is going to become increasingly relevant in the middle of the forest.
Flower has a 12.
Flower has a 12, which is going to become a 16.
Okay.
Elmo has a 5.
Elmo has a 5, which is going to become an 8.
7.
7 becomes an 11.
Oh.
Yeah, y'all incidentally are actually very good at survival, which I thought was appropriate. Um, y'all are investigating things, almost running around, sort of like giggling maniacally and like starting to like do increasingly fancy things with this quarterstaff. Um, and uh, Flower, you. It's like I keep looking at your real names and being like, no, no, that's the wrong one. Flower, you suddenly kind of notice something odd. You're the first one to kind of notice it. There's like the footsteps that are going out. Like you suddenly start to like notice the trail of like where people left from this ambush or whatever. A bunch of them are clearly like probably like goblinoid. You see a lot of paw prints too, maybe more of these like mangy wolves. You also see a fair number though of larger humanoid footprints.
Huh. So there were some big things here too.
How big?
Us-sized, maybe?
Okay. So not like giants or something.
No, but bigger than the goblins. Yeah, bigger than the goblins.
Can we tell how many?
It's kind of muddy, hard to say. Definitely, probably at least 3. Possibly more, as you start kind of looking around and seeing that there seem to be 2 or 3 kind of exit points. But, you know, there was a big fight here. There's a lot of matted grass. There's a lot of blood. There's mud that's been kicked up, so some of it's a little bit obscured, but it's several.
Does it look like anything's been dragged with them?
It does. There's one area that kind of looks like something large and of weight got dragged. Could be a trunk, possibly. You do see that there's at least like a couple of trunks that have been like overturned and dumped out or rummaged through. But, you know, just piecing it together from the basic logic of if you were some sort of like royal entourage escorting a princess, there were probably more trunks. None of your animals seem to be here, but you do get the impression probably there were horses drawing the carriage and maybe some of you were riding horses as well. None of those horses are here. And you do pick up some, like, now that you're looking for them, you do pick up some horse tracks of, like, horses running off into the woods as well.
I don't like that.
Well, I think that's the only way we're going to get answers is following it.
Yeah.
Well, we still have these sealed letters. We could open these.
I feel like that might get us in trouble. I feel like we shouldn't open a letter to the king.
I mean, is trouble the worst thing when we're sitting out in the middle of the forest and don't know what's what?
Yeah, let's go look around. There's already been trouble.
That's true.
I'm the captain now. Let me open the captain one.
Oh, okay. Oh, we should get you the danglies.
Oh, yeah. I like the danglies.
Yeah.
But they might fall off when I do all my jumping stuff, because I really enjoy that.
Well, I've got some, like sticky stuff in this disguise kit that we can maybe stick it on with.
Oh, yeah. I'm in. Let's do that.
All right. Yeah, okay, so you're the captain now. All right, Captain.
So Elle's just gonna like break the seal while getting the dangly stuff stuck onto them.
Yeah. You do see that it is not addressed to Corporal Baggins. This is addressed to another captain. But you go ahead, you pop it open, and you see this is addressed to it seems to be the captain of the guard of this, like, the neighboring kingdom. And it is a list of specific security instructions for this big... You're still not totally clear based on if it's like a wedding or just like a festival, or maybe it's an engagement. It could just also be like a, you know, like a co-produced like celebratory. Like it's very unclear, and it seems to change from line to line, like what this event is that the princess is attending. The initial letter seemed to imply that there was maybe a wedding situation. This one, fully unclear. There's a lot of references to how to do like the wristband system for check-ins for guests, but there's also some stuff about like securing the ceremony areas. Like it's a bunch of information about allowing folks from, it seems, your faction to participate in the like tournament that's happening, but it also like it's a show tournament, so like they have to keep the balance of wins even until the end, and then it's anything goes. Lots of these very like weirdly specific and sometimes contradictory instructions. And it is signed and stamped with the seal that matches your insignia.
Okay, well, this doesn't help us at all. It's just more information about the shindig.
Okay.
I guess we should follow the tracks.
Is there a sign-up list for any of the events?
I don't know,
Not
let
in
me
this
check.
letter.
Okay. I'd like to just like, I don't know, pick up a dagger, or I feel a little like if we're gonna be running into the brush here,
Yeah.
I need to pick something up.
Oh yeah, you can totally grab a dagger. Look up something real quick. Okay, yeah.
Is there any armor kicking around that looks like it's gonna fit me?
There's definitely some armor in this pile of like cast-offs that looks like it would be your size. You could easily pick up some chainmail.
Okay, I would like to do
and that would be easy, like slide on. Seems to match with kind of the undergarments that you're wearing. That was probably close to what you had before. That is going to give you, I have to double check. So you pull that on, you are currently at an armor class of 16.
Okay. And looking in that pile of discarded stuff, can I find a sword to go with it?
Yeah, there's a handful of swords floating around. You can easily grab a long sword.
Okay.
That seems to kind of feel the most right in your hand, so.
Does there happen to be like any writing implements around?
Yeah, in one of the spilled over trunks, there's definitely like a scribe's kit, where you could grab some quills, some ink, some parchment, things like that.
Elmo's gonna grab that and then write like a little name tag and just attach it to themselves. She says, "Hi, my name is Elmo." This way we don't forget who we are.
That's not
plan,
the worst idea.
Just slap it on with a little bit of the spirit gum from Inga's disguise kit.
And they're gonna write like a little note that says "following trail," and just like stick it right next to it, so they're just essentially turning their chest into a message board for the whole group. Now we won't forget what we're doing either. I don't know what happened to us.
You will become our red string board very soon.
Inga, I will also say that as you kind of like picked up that bag that looked like it kind of matched what you were wearing, grabbed the disguise kit, and you found a couple of the other like obvious staples, like there was like a water skin, there was a rations pack that looked like it had just kind of spilled out and gotten ignored. You also find like another bundle of clothing that is in the same color scheme as everything else you're wearing. It's all of these like blues and purples, and it looks like the like much like fancier, more expensive version of what you are wearing. Definitely not giving princess, but giving like festival garb.
Mm-hmm. I was ready to party.
Yeah, you were prepared for something, and it was gonna be a good time.
I guess the other big thing is I don't know how to like explain like just kind of closing my eyes for a second and breathing and trying to just kind of like reach out my senses
Sure.
to see if there's anything interesting that happens.
Okay. Go ahead and give me the D20 roll.
Okay.
The blind D20, our favorite roll in this
That's a
particular
4.
weird game. That's okay.
We're rolling great.
You know, you sort of close your eyes and reach out, and you start to get that prickling. You get sort of a prickling sense of magic.
Okay.
Of just like there, magic happened here. There are some magic things around here. Maybe it's a little fuzzy, probably because you're a little tired and screwed up because of whatever happened. But you then very specifically you start to realize that it like you're feeling it kind of generally in the air because you're kind of focused in on it, but you are also start to realize you're feeling like a weird, I'll call it a magical itch, like on your arm.
Oh.
It seems to sort of like isolate in there.
Yeah, what's that?
You flip through your many layers of like clothing, whether it's up, down, whatever, and you kind of like pull your sleeve up, down, whatever, and you realize the entire like upper part of your arm has like this insane tattoo sleeve that was covered by all of these layers of fabric before. There is this like wild looking, like there's like, it looks like magic runes twined into like flowers and vines or whatever that just covers the full upper part of your arm, and then like tendrils off down to just below the elbow.
Okay, well, at least I know I have some kind of patience in me.
And you just feel this like little like prickling itch of magic sort of where that is.
That's real pretty.
Wow. Maybe you're the captain.
I don't think I'm the captain. I think I'm just here to party. But I'll take it.
Well, I get the feeling you're tougher than me.
I don't feel very tough right now.
To sit with those tattoos? I bet you're tough.
That. Yeah.
Based on the roll that you made, you can make note that you have a +6 to Arcana.
Ooh.
I have to remember that I can't just do my normal DM thing of like, here's the information. I'm like, oh, I need to actually tell you the numbers, which goes against every fiber of my being that wants to keep things secret.
All the secrets. That means
all secrets, all the time.
Some proficiency there.
Is there a particular, like, do you want to follow a trail? Do you want to follow the drag trail? Do you want to follow the horses? Do you want to follow one of the side trails? You basically have like 5 choices, which is there's 3 trails that looks like people leaving, one of which has the drag. The other 2 just have footsteps. And then there's like 2 different kind of sets of horses that you can sort of follow. One appears to be the horses that were drawing the carriage, and maybe like it kind of could be that they were still connected to each other. They just got separated from the carriage and then they bolted off as a unit. And then there's like another, looks like maybe 1 or 2 horses that ran off in a different direction. And again, some of these could have had riders or people with them. You obviously wouldn't know because you're only seeing horses, or horse prints, but words, God, we're an hour in and I'm already losing it. Good job. Horse prints.
Horse prints.
Not to be confused with the horse prince, which is from a different meme.
Well, the horses would make us go faster. But we'd have to find them first. And then we'd have to come back. And then we'd have to go.
the drag, they couldn't have gotten far dragging something, so horses could get a lot further than some schmoes dragging something.
Well, and it's also entirely possible that they all loop around together anyway. So
Okay. So
yeah,
follow the schmoes with the drags. Okay.
Cool. You start heading after the trail with the drag marks. And as you guys are moving along, you definitely notice that Elmo seems to always end up in front. Like there is a very frequent level of like Elmo like gets up ahead and then kind of like stops and waits, or maybe like bounces off a tree a couple of times to let everybody catch up. Um, Inga is clearly the slowest of the group, despite also probably weighing the least.
I was gonna look back. Inga, you want me to carry you?
I'm just not good at cardio, I think. So we'll get there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can.
Are you bleeding anywhere? Are
I
you
don't
still
think
hurt?
I'm bleeding.
That was
I'm
just me.
achy, but I don't think I'm bleeding.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point, no one is actively bleeding. You don't. Everybody feels like, if you were to put a phrase on it, nobody feels like they're at full HP. But you know, but you're getting by.
There weren't any potions or anything.
You did actually find in the bag that seems to be your bag, Inga. There were 2 potions of that particular sort of like bright red strawberry scented vibe that you suspect are healing potions. There were 2 of them in that bag.
Great. I will hand one. I don't. Can you drink these? Do you need a special one?
Uh, is there like a spout or something on me that you'd see? I don't know.
That we
I
would
mean,
like feed it into.
yeah, like an oil change.
I will hand one to Flower.
Thanks.
I do think that's very funny, that the idea of you just having a healing potion valve for the Warforged. That's very cute.
Where there should be like a nipple on a humanoid, there would just be like a dipstick that comes out and shows the HP level. Oh, you're running a little low.
I'm stealing that. That's great. I love that. Yeah, if you you have this potion. If you wish to consume this is a standard healing potion. So
Okay.
it is a 2d4 plus 2.
I felt a little better after I made the blood stop. So I'm gonna just wait. But maybe if I feel real better. Yeah, I'm gonna feel real better.
Feel real better. Yeah, let's just do it.
Roll them and then make note of what you get, but also tell me what you get and put it back on your character sheets.
the lowest possible amount.
A classic 6.
A classic 6.
It was 2d4 plus
2d4 plus 2.
2. So, 7.
Oh no, I'm sorry, 4. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, you're right.
yeah,
4.
I can't count.
Neither can I, apparently.
Math is hard.
So it's Saturday. We don't do
Saturday.
math. Oh lordy. This is one downside of this, is I'm like, oh yeah, I have to know all of the numbers instead of only half of the numbers.
Aw.
It's fine. It's fine. You do both start to feel a bit better. You definitely feel like you could have felt more better, but that's just life. But yeah, you guys continue moving along for a while. You're following these drag marks. It's kind of tricky as you're weaving your way through the forest, and then as you're moving along, suddenly you all, I believe, I'm double checking. Yeah, Yeah, you all suddenly hear a sound. And you hear the sound because these guys rolled real bad on not being against everyone's perception. So you guys don't have to roll for this one. You all just hear. You hear the sound of shh, shh, they're coming. Shh, shh, no, stay still, stay still, stay still. Coming from like just up ahead of you. You also are all able to see the bushes shaking and then stop as people are clearly trying to settle into their hiding places behind the bushes.
Okay.
Ella's going to run up at their incredible speed and start whacking the bush with their stick.
Amazing. Everybody please roll me initiative and I will let Elle get off like one attack as like surprise round essentially. To run up and do that. Oh god. Now I have to find where my writing utensils are. There we go.
Elle
Oh.
rolled an 11.
Woo! Good times.
7 over here.
Excellent, excellent.
And a 12 for flour.
Let me add some things to that. So, your 7 is gonna become a 10.
Okay.
Your 11 is gonna become a 14. And your 12 is gonna become a 13.
Okay.
Math is hard. Great. Elmo, go ahead and give me a surprise. I'll let everybody have a surprise round. You guys heard these. They rolled a 2 on their stealth. You definitely heard them talking. But I will let Elle go first, and then it will be Flower, and then it will be Inga. Go ahead and take a surprise round to do some things.
Elmo rolled a 6 on his stick whacking.
Cool. Well, conveniently for you, your 6 is going to become I'm in the wrong tab. God damn it. Your 6 is going to become a 12. Which is, unfortunately, mostly just going to rattle some branches. But it is going to startle the people inside those branches. Flower, what would you like to do?
I want to use my long sword to hit the branches. Or to hit the bush. To smash.
Cool. Yeah. Roll a smack a bush.
So that is a 14 to attack. A 14
Cool.
roll.
That is going to be a 19. And
Okay.
you will hit something that goes inside the bush. Go ahead and give me a damage. This is a longsword,
Yes.
so it is 1d8 if you are one-handing it, or 1d10 if you are two-handing it. It is a versatile weapon.
Oh, we're gonna two-hand this.
Hit that shrub.
Is 4 on the die.
That is gonna be 4. That's gonna be a +2, so that'll be 6 total.
Okay.
Yeah, you smack down hard on something inside the bush that just starts screaming bloody murder. Literally, like murder, Those are some really sophisticated bad guys, y'all. Is there anything else you would like to do or like to attempt, given that you don't necessarily know what you can do or not?
Can I hit him again?
You cannot currently, since you have two-handed your weapon. You are only wielding a single weapon.
Gotcha.
Actually, hang on. No, you can hit them again.
Ah, cool.
You have 2 attacks per turn. I was
So
looking at the
answer
wrong
this.
tab.
That is a 10 plus 5, so 15.
15 will hit.
Cool. And that is a 5 plus 2 is 7 points of damage.
7. Please roll me a d6.
Okay.
This is just for me to determine what you hit.
That is a 5.
Okay. You swing again, you land into something, and you just hear like "Ah!" And you just hear a lot of like weird, like
Okay.
gurgly, choky type maybe someone's having a bad time sounds.
I think I got one.
Yeah.
Get it.
Inga, would you like to
I would like to set the bush on fire.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I have to are you like lighting a tinder, or do you want to just like try to will this?
I think I want to will it to be on fire, or to like, will the tattoo to do something. Who knows?
Cool. Sorry, I'm scrolling through to double check. Yeah. Okay. You just go, oh yeah, I would like this thing to be on fire. And you put your hands out in front of you to try to create fire. And what happens instead of fire is that everybody hears this extraordinarily loud of thunder. As I have to make a couple of rolls. That, yep, okay.
This is one of my favorite spells.
And you hear a bunch of screaming inside one of these bushes, and you all see a little goblin just like Scooby-Doo style, like gets punted out of this bush and just goes like flying off and like slams into a tree and then slides down, clearly dead.
I think you got one.
I think you got one.
That's 2. How many giggles were there?
So you may add Thunderwave to your list of spells that you have. You definitely have that moment of like, that wasn't what I was trying to do, but I'll take it.
But it works.
Okay, that was the end of the surprisingly excellent surprise round. I need to pull. Okay, here we go. I have to look up one more.
Maybe we should have taken one of them alive.
I mean, there's definitely still some in there. You hear a lot of screaming now inside these bushes. Pretty much picture there's like a little bit. It's not like a true like. It's not a developed path, but there was like a passage. There's these 2 bushes on either side where they were clearly trying to like flank so they could jump you. And you guys are now kind of splitting the difference with Flower and Elmo kind of on one bush and Inga on the other. Just like now these bushes are both just screaming as they're trying to extricate themselves because they have clearly been found. That's going to bring us to the top of the order. At the top of the order, I get to roll to see when something happens. Cool, great. And then we're going to come back around to Elmo. These guys rolled bad on their initiative, so good job, friends.
Elmo's gonna just start just kind of punching into this bush, just like
Yeah. Yeah, you start punching into this bush. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
It was a 6.
That was a 6. Um, that first one not gonna hit. Roll again.
That was a 4.
4. That one is also not going to hit, unfortunately. As you start punching, though, you do feel kind of something in your core. You feel a couple of things. One thing is you feel like in your core, something is starting to like almost like churn. Like something just like inside your mechanism is getting prepped in case you need it. You also get the sense that if you wanted to hit these guys again, you probably could. You feel like you have enough energy for that.
Yeah, we're gonna just keep going Big O style and just like punching robot fists into this bush.
Go ahead and punch 2 more times.
That was an 8.
Okay, an 8 plus 6 is 14. That one felt a lot closer.
And a 2.
It's hard, man. They're like running around in these bushes, and you're just like you're rolling blind. So
These oak bushes and their tough branches.
It's true. It's true. That I think is gonna bring us to Flower with Inga on deck.
Flower is gonna go ahead and try to slice something again.
Yeah.
That is a 13 plus 5 is 18.
Will hit.
That is 6 plus 2 is 8 damage.
Cool. You hear some more strangled gargly sounds.
Oh, okay. Are there other sounds still coming from in the bush?
Oh yeah,
okay.
There's a lot of shrieking still.
Okay. So I'm gonna just smash again.
Cool.
So 10 plus 5 is 15.
Will hit.
All right, and that is another. Is that a 6 or a 9? That's a 9.
My favorite.
Plus 2 is 11.
You feel all of the screaming, or you hear all of the screaming inside the bush that you and Elmo are at cease.
Oh.
There's still screaming coming from the bush behind you where Inga is, but this one seems to have gone. You just kind of hear an occasional, like, sort of, like, choking sound.
Do I feel bad about that at all?
You kind of feel like you've done your duty.
Okay. All right.
Like, you feel good about having protected the folks that you're with.
All right. Cool.
Inga.
Yeah, I wanna make fun of the goblin.
Yeah.
Just wanna be like, you're really not good at this, and you got us once probably, but I don't think you're gonna get it again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just start kind of taunting the screaming bush. And you suddenly hear there's still essentially you're hearing like 2 voices screaming, and then you just hear one of them start to get like really quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So you have one that's like shrieking and there's like a lot of thrashing on one side, and then the other side you just kind of are getting a little more like
Your mom would be disappointed. And then I'm gonna wink at Flower.
Yeah. Flower, you feel one might say inspired.
All right.
You feel like you're doing great. You feel like you could almost add like a 1d8 to one of your next rolls if you wanted to.
I like it.
You're also pretty sure Inga's flirting with you.
I like it.
Cool. That's fun. I like that I have roughly effectively led you guys down the path of starting to figure out what your abilities are. Good times. Oh, actually, I think I messed up something. Let me double check it. Because I forgot about a thing. Okay, no, we're fine. I did not. Nothing has happened that would trigger that yet, so I didn't actually forget it. Great. Now these they're goblins. They're obviously goblins hiding in the bushes. These goblins are going to attempt desperately to do something. So the one that is still shrieking is going to suddenly pop up out of the bushes and is going to take a swing on Inga. And as they swing at you, you suddenly, like, they've got like a little like shitty little scimitar, and they're just like jumping out of the bush, like full on like and like tries to you, and you just kind of turn and you feel this like tattoo on your arm just glow. Like, and you feel this warmth radiate out, and you just sort of like bounce this guy off your arm as he misses.
You have a barrier tattoo.
You do. You have a barrier tattoo, and your armor class is 14.
14, thank you.
Elmo's just gonna see that and go, "Yeah, you're definitely the captain."
But we already
I can't hit a
stuff to him.
push.
Hitting things doesn't always matter in terms of captain. You gotta inspire sometimes. You gotta know when to make the right call.
I mean, I just hit a bunch of stuff. I don't feel like a captain.
The other less certain goblin that is maybe having a little bit of an emotional crisis all of a sudden is going to kind of pop out of the bushes much more slowly and also half-heartedly swing at Inga, and it's very much the like kind of just like doesn't even make a real attempt and absolutely whiffs it. And that's gonna bring us back around to the top. You all hear from somewhere off in the distance.
Oh.
Do we like dogs? I don't know. Am I allergic?
I don't know that I like those dogs.
I feel like I like dogs. Maybe not those ones.
Well, there's still goblins to handle, so time to inspire. And Elmo's just gonna run at the uncertain goblin and just full on tackle the little asshole. Just like run straight at him. If I can't hit you, I'll grab you.
Cool. Go ahead and give me, we're gonna do an opposed athletics check for a grapple. Go ahead and roll me your 20.
Ooh, 18.
18. Yeah, 18 plus 5 is a 23. I don't think this guy can beat you unless he crits. Yeah, he did not. So yeah, you just like full on running tackle, and you now just like have this little goblin. Anything else you wanna try to do on this turn?
I'm just going to whisper quietly in its ear. Stop fighting, start talking, or I squeeze.
Cool. I think that is going to be Flower's turn. There is the one uncertain goblin that is now being grappled by Elmo, and then there is this other goblin that just kind of like bounced off of Inga's arm.
Well, I'm gonna hit the bouncy one. Because,
Why break a good routine?
So that is 16 plus 5 is 21.
Will absolutely hit. These
Okay.
guys are not wearing a lot of good armor that they could have stolen from you guys, unfortunately.
That is 5 plus 2 is 7.
That was 2 of 7. Yeah, you just like pump down onto this dude and absolutely just split him in half, basically. You technically have another attack, and Inga, you are on deck, but currently the only goblin still standing is the one that is not actually standing. He is being held like giant choke hug by Elmo.
Elmo, you
And
want me to
looking
stab him?
very concerned.
Maybe slap him.
Okay.
Like a good solid slap.
I'll
Not too hard
I'll
because we
slap him.
want information.
Yeah, don't kill him. Don't like
Okay.
break his jaw or anything, but
I'll try. And so I'll drop the sword and slap him.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me for an unarmed strike, just because I want to see how hard you hit him. We'll
was a
say it's
nat 20.
non-lethal. With a natural 20 for a 25 to your unarmed strike, you just clean clock this goblin so hard. You do not kill him, but he looks very hurt and very scared. He's just
holy
like,
crap, we said gentle.
You do realize he seems to be trying to say things, but he is speaking in Goblin, which unfortunately none of you speak.
Oh.
However, I have to double check a thing real quick. Yeah, he's definitely trying to say something, trying to explain things. None of you guys can understand him.
Okay. Should I hit him again?
I don't think he'll be able to talk if you hit him again like that.
Can I try really hard to understand him?
That is actually the thing that I was checking, is whether or not you can actually understand him.
Elmo's just wondering why Inga's making a weird face right now.
Inga's like so focused.
Scrunched up.
It's an interesting... There's an interesting thing that Inga does have the ability to do, and I'm going to rule that it is going to allow this to work.
Oh.
You're trying so hard to understand this goblin, and you're like, maybe if I can explain to him like what we need, and you start really focusing in on it, and it's still a little unclear. Like, it's definitely like, oh, I have studied the language in the book.
Right.
And
I know
you
what
are
it looks
a
like
native
on paper.
and you're a native speaker, and the accent's different, and it's kind of throwing me off. But you do suddenly start to kind of pick up at least pieces of what this goblin is trying to say. You're picking up words here and there. You are hearing him. There's a lot of begging for his life. Seems to be the basic tenor of it. Like, you know, the like no hit sort of situation. And you also start to pick up on like following rules, following direction. No hit, let go, show path, go away.
So basically, he's begging for his life. I can't tell if he wants to show us the way or if he wants us to go away. I think he says he's following orders.
What? So do I let him go or juice him?
I maybe we cuff him.
We could put a rope around him.
We put a rope
Ooh,
around him.
yeah.
Oh, those we could put a rope around those dogs too. Uh, yeah.
I,
Let's see if
let's just tie him to me. That way he can't run off.
Yeah.
Just like harness.
Do you want this like toddler on a leash style, or do you want baby Bjorn style?
I think Baby Bjorn.
Yeah.
Goblin
you ju-
Bjorn. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
Yes.
hold the goblin in place while Inga and Flower just sort of like lash this guy to your chest. So you don't have tiny goblin strapped to your chest, just kind of going like and again, Inga, you're kind of picking up you're hearing a lot of like follow rules, no hit, show path, show secret path,
oh
no
secret.
wolf,
There's a
no
secret.
wolf.
There's a secret. No wolf. You don't. You. I mean, just like someone speaking to someone who doesn't actually speak the language, but you're trying really hard to get them to understand. Just like the you don't like wolf.
He immediately nods with full understanding. And you get wolf bad, wolf work boss, no wolf, wolf eat. You're not sure if the word is cousin.
Oh,
It's like probably the closest
might be
translation
cousin.
you got. You're not sure how goblin familial structure works, so it might be sort of an adjacent translation.
Do like a your and then goblin boss. Not your okay. Not his boss.
Boss.
Separate boss.
Boss magic.
Boss magic.
Boss magic.
Boss
wolves.
book magic.
Nods.
Boss book magic.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't like those.
No,
That's
No.
not good.
they don't even go to actual college.
Yeah, they went to vocational sorcery school.
No, sorcery's a Maybelline situation.
Oh, true. Are they Estee Lauder?
Maybe.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
this is my child now because it's strapped to me. So, does anyone have a snack for them? And Elmo's just gonna kind of like pet their head. It's like right around chin length height, and he's just gonna be like, "Simmer down, kid. Simmer down."
Goblin was flailing slightly just in that like way that you kind of would just out of like default, but kind of like slowly just sort of settles and then just starts like it's just the arms and legs just kind of like dead weight hanging, which does not really bother you, Elmo. Like it's fine. But yeah, you just now have this like very scared and slightly confused goblin strapped to your chest. As you hear the howling wolves off in the distance, and little Gobbo friend kind of points, and Inga, he kind of goes, "Path secret boss magic?" Like he's asking a question.
Who boss magic?
Yeah.
Oh. You want to go to boss magic?
You want magic, boss?
Maybe.
Can you
You
ask
want
for the
hide magic, boss?
I don't know.
Can you ask for the princess?
Princess?
Fancy lady?
Fancy lady.
Boss magic.
Boss magic. Boss magic.
He's pointing off in a direction that looks like it just goes straight into a tree.
Right. To that tree.
You guys round up and start heading toward a tree
Yep.
that may or may not have a secret path in it. And I think that is where we are going to take a brief break.
All right. We will be back in about 10 minutes. See you then. Hello and welcome back to Meme of the Month. I'm glad you've all stuck around. We are about to dive back into our Amnesia D&D where we don't know much. We're learning more. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to Alondra, our GM.
Yes. So, our incredibly hapless adventurers have sort of started to piece together some of their missing memories. They know that they are part of some sort of royal entourage that appears to have been ambushed, certainly by goblins and wolves, but possibly also by some larger humanoids. They've started to tap a little bit into their inner selves. Our Warforged believes his name is Elmo, and has started tapping into his ability to parkour and punch really hard a lot of times. Um, our tiefling bard has now started to assess some of her abilities, tapping deep within herself to bring out fire and instead getting thunder and some universal languages. But we try things until we figure them out. And our wood elf paladin, um still a little feeling a little lost, but maybe getting a little more secure, and at the very least knows that they can double
Smash.
hand that sword real hard. They've just come out of a fight with some goblins that tried very badly to ambush them again and failed utterly miserably. And now, as they stand amongst the you're not even standing amongst the bodies of the fallen goblins because most of them are still in the bushes. There's like one that got flung to the tree over there. But the last remaining goblin is currently now strapped to the chest of Elmo the Warforged in a goblin Bjorn that was fashioned with some rope from the packs, and is just currently like hanging there looking a little scared, but seems very willing to at least try to communicate. And has indicated that the princess, who may have been the prominent member of the caravan, is now with the magic boss in the secret pathway and has pointed to a very large tree.
I would like to think real hard and maybe pray a little bit and see if I'm just getting any sort of vibes, good or evil, anything like that.
Yeah, you sort of tapped into yourself. You kind of remember the scent of that incense from that sensor that you found, and that little like flash of memory that it gave you, and you sort of threw yourself back to that and just sort of like reach out into the space around you to see what you can find. Yeah. Fine. And that's the one on this one. As you kind of reach out, an interesting thing happens, because you're definitely sort of reaching for good and evil. That makes the most sense. That feels right. What you find yourself accessing, though, is you suddenly start to see these glows, sort of like these auras, appear around some of the items that you and your friends are carrying, and some of the areas in this woods. You see this fun, like, trail almost of like a burst of glitter that seems to cover the bush and that tree in that area where you saw Inga fling the goblin. You see that Inga herself is kind of almost like glittery and glowing a little bit. Particularly on this arm where she's got this very fancy tattoo, there's like a lot of like shimmering energy coming off of that. I have to toggle through a couple of things. You see that the sensor that you sort of like tucked into your pack of your belt is also glowing with sort of like this sense of magic, perhaps.
Okay.
You see that Elmo's quarterstaff that they've been carrying also seems to have a little bit of this like magical essence. You notice that Inga has a ring that's giving off a little bit of like a magical aura.
Hey, Inga, you got a sparkly. But it's extra sparkly, like your arm
Which
sparkles.
one? Which one is it?
I'll point at the correct one.
Yeah, you do realize Inga's wearing a lot of jewelry.
Yeah.
um,
But that was
Um,
real sparkly, like glittery sparkly.
Yeah. And you look down, the one that's being indicated has a motif of waves on it and is inset with these little like blue, almost like it's like that like blue kind of abalone situation kind of inset around these wave motifs. You also see that big old tree that Gabo was indicating is just like fully glowing.
Oh,
Like there's like in like the shape of a door
all right.
on the trunk.
I think the tree has a magic door in it.
Let's touch it.
Okay. Oh, and Elle, your stick is glowy too. I don't know if
Elmo's
that
just kind of
matters.
like casually scratching the goblin behind the ears, and he's just like, "Oh man, this is awesome." Hey Krinko, do you remember me like doing anything with this? Do you know? Did I stick pew pew whack whack boom?
Punch, 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 and you see he leaves it like punch, 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 and it's like doing like trying to like mime like shadow boxing or whatever, just like a lot. It's very funny because again he is like dangling off of your chest. But yeah, just like
Oh, just punch. Okay, good boy, good boy. And scratches behind the ears some more.
Oh, did you
Boom?
fly?
Can I fly?
What? You can fly?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
He looks, his eyes get real big, and he just sort of like again kind of does some more nodding, and then he he kind of points up at Elmo and is like, woo! And then he looks at you, Inga, and goes,
Did I also fly? Did we all point at Flower? Also Flower?
I have to double check. Looks at Flower and goes, oh,
Did I ride a horse?
Maybe.
Did you jump good? Jump?
She ride a bird.
Air horse. Air horse.
You have a Pegasus?
Air horse lizard.
Air horse lizard.
Maybe I called
Air horse
something.
lizard 1.
Riding around on a chimera or something.
Well, I'm
Magic
gonna
Somewhat
boss?
chimera.
Magic boss, no wolves?
Yeah, magic boss.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that.
I'm feeling brave. I can see the door. I'm gonna just walk into the tree.
Yeah, you walk up to the tree and you do you do like the classic like hand first, or do you just like walk straight in?
I'm just gonna walk straight in. I'm trusting that it's gonna work.
Yeah, you guys watch and you see Flower just like walk up and just like walk through the bark of this tree and disappear.
I guess we should follow. I was expecting it to be a lot funnier.
Yeah. A little bit of hope for the face plant, right?
Okay, well, let's go.
Great.
And
All right.
Elmo's just gonna like, Krinko first right into the tree.
Yeah, you do see Kriegel like just like kind of by default like puts their hands up, but you just walk in and he just goes ooh, as he like steps straight through. Inga, you are easily able to follow. As you walk through, you're definitely starting to tap into more of the like arcana of the sort of situation, and you get the sense that like you kind of walk through, you're like, oh yeah, this is clearly just some sort of like illusion magic that's hiding like the big ass hole that now leads to a set of stairs that leads into some underground tunnels.
Okay.
All right. Looks like you're gonna get your cardio in.
Is it dark?
It's. I mean, it is inherently dark in here. You're not really like everything. There's no more color in what you're seeing, but you're not having a problem seeing
Okay.
in front of you. Neither are you, Inga. Elmo, you walk in here and it is very dark. There does seem to be some light coming from behind you, where like the light is penetrating whatever this kind of illusory bark was. But as it goes further down the steps, you're like, this is very dark.
I can't see anything. Someone hold my hand.
Kriko reaches up and like reaches out to try to grab your hand, but his short little arms are not long enough.
I just like reach and hold his
Yeah.
hand. Not what I meant, son, but we'll do.
Can I like try? I don't know, summon some kind of light, maybe, on or around.
Yeah, you walk over to your. I guess you're right behind Elmo. You just pat Elmo on the shoulder, and his whole like shoulder plate just starts giving off about, maybe like a 20-foot radius of light.
Ooh, that works.
Ooh, useful. All right, watch your step.
You've been making your way down these steps. They do appear to have been crafted steps, but it looks like they were maybe kind of carved out of some of the like tree branches and roots that were already in here were sort of just like formed together to make these steps. And it leads you into this big dirt tunnel that's just been built to like traverse underneath this section of the forest.
Okay.
Do we see any signs of like goblin habitation in goblins?
Signs of goblins. Go ahead and make a survival check. Anybody who wants.
I got 12 plus 3.
Nice.
Got 14 total.
That is a 13.
13, 14, 15. Y'all start looking around, and you do, as you kind of get down off the steps and into where there is more dirt, you do start to see some signs of footsteps. It looks more like the larger folks. It looks more like the humanoid size footsteps, not so much the goblins. You would guess that possibly the goblins who went this way were the goblins who ambushed you, and that this was where the rest of the group that was traveling with them went. You do also see some faint drag marks of that trunk that was maybe getting dragged. But it also looks like you're seeing them more intermittently. Like maybe it was initially being dragged when you guys were above, and now that it's in here, it's being like dragged and then carried for maybe a short distance, and then like, like set down, readjusted, and then continues.
Okay.
I want looking at our goblin child over here. Fancy lady in trunk. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kriko has clearly figured out that like the charades version seems to be working better for the communication. Has started leaning into that side of things.
Does anyone have a snack for my son?
I have some rations. Yeah.
Check my pockets.
Hand off a granola bar.
Yeah, it's probably snack time. I'm just gonna hand it to him.
You hand him a granola bar, and he kind of like looks up at you with big eyes, and is like,
Nom nom nom.
Eat it. Food.
Yeah,
Mhm.
food.
Yeah.
No murder?
No murder.
No murder, you buddy. And just like scratch his head a little more.
Just like double fist and starts like just like kind of nibbling on the end of this granola bar situation. Just very big eyes.
And
Was
then
not
we will
expecting
proceed.
was not expecting the Amnesia game to be the one where everybody adopted the adorable monster, but I'll take it. Okay, you guys continue down this this pathway. Everybody, I don't think we've actually done a proper like let's do a perception check.
Whoa.
Uh an active perception check because you're like looking for things.
I rolled a 19.
Awesome. What's a 19 plus 4?
Yeah. Total of 19 over here.
Okay.
I didn't get anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I got a 9.
And that is still a 9. You're a little distracted, making sure that Kiddo eats his snacks.
Franco started to choke a little, and I had to like pat
Yeah.
her back.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But don't use the real names yet. You haven't found them yet. Inga and Flower, you both start to hear something from further down the tunnel, and as you kind of continue down, it sounds like voices. You're starting to hear like talking. There's at least 2, possibly 3. It's a little hard to tell, but you're definitely getting that like, like that muffled, like you can hear the pitch changes of speech, but you're too far away to like understand anything yet.
I want to try to be a little bit sneakier.
Okay.
Yeah. Ale, we're just gonna sneak along.
Okay.
Uh,
Krinko. Shh.
He like takes the other half of the granola bar, just shoves the whole thing in his mouth, and then just like chipmunk cheeks, just like.
okay.
Everybody, go ahead and give me stealth checks. Flower, as you start trying to stealth along, even in spite of your best efforts, you do notice that your chainmail is clanking a fair amount. Like, you can kind of mitigate it, but you do need to roll this with a disadvantage.
All right, so
I did roll a nat 20.
Inga disappears.
all right.
Inga's not, probably not literally invisible, but, like, might as well be.
We got a 15.
Cool. Your 15 L is going to become a 21. So you are also pretty visible. Your natural 20 does become a 25.
25.
What does your lower roll give me?
It is a 12.
It is a 12. Okay. That's still a 13.
Okay.
You're able to sort of like you've got this like padding on underneath, and so you're able to kind of like almost like hug yourself a little bit to like keep things from jangling so much. Maybe you kind of wave your hand around looking for wherever the hell Inga went to and get like a scarf or something to like help tamp things down a little bit. So you're a little jangly, but like it could be a lot worse.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys continue making your way down this passage, and as you get closer, you do start to make out a little bit more of these voices and what's going on, and you hear some sounds like some upset words being exchanged. And as you get closer, you start to catch that the tenor of a lot of them is falling very much into the like, how dare you treat me this way, from a very angry female voice that is being countered by a lot of shut up, just stop talking, just stop talking, I will put you back in the trunk, just shut up, with an occasional sort of like Sir, maybe we should shut up. You shut up too. I'll put you in the trunk.
It sounds like they're having a great time.
Yeah, it seems like everyone's having a really awesome deal going on here.
Excellent. Good times.
That sounds like a hostile work environment.
You do also notice, like, as you're kind of getting closer to where you're hearing the voices, this tunnel sort of forks off in two directions, and you're able to look down. The path to the right is where the voices are coming from, and you see there is like an actual like door, sort of kind of built into the like kind of shoved into the dirt and packed in there. That is to your right, and then to your left, you see a tunnel that like continues off a little further down and then branches again. At least Flower and Inga, you're able to kind of see where it branches off. I don't think Elmo can quite see all the way down, but you can see that there is this other tunnel.
Okay.
Rinko, what's this one?
You're pointing to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Krenko looks, he sort of like looks, he's still kind of got a little bit, he cups his hands and kind of goes, and then just kind of looks and goes, nap time?
Oh, okay.
Snack time. Nap time, snack time, hiding.
Nap time, snack time, hiding.
So
the other way?
That is the direction that the voices are coming from, specifically.
Great. Nap time, snack time, hiding.
okay, like a kitchen and a bedroom. Oh, like a barracks.
Yeah, it's like a barracks.
Okay. Weird
And
that
the
I
closet,
can't remember
because
that.
he said hiding.
And maybe they play hide and seek. I don't know what they do.
Who knows? Let's go punch something.
Oh, murder.
Oh, you
Yeah,
play
buddy.
murder.
Murder.
That's fun.
Hey, murder.
His first word. Anyone got a tiny dagger we can give him?
I have a dagger.
Crinkle like reaches, like starts to try to like kind of feel around for like his pocket. Again, he is like rope strapped, so he's like kind of like wriggles it around, reaches in and like pulls out like a potato peeler.
Oh,
All right.
are you a cook?
Make snack
Snack.
before murder.
Okay.
Do you
Then
murder the snack with that?
Murder,
Yeah.
boss man, direction. Also
Okay.
potato.
Potato. Great.
You can boil them, you can mash them, you can put them in a stew.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. We'll get you all the potatoes.
Suddenly
and
remembers
you
he's
help
supposed
us.
to be quiet and looks very scared again. Look, potatoes are very exciting. They distract all of us.
That they do.
Yeah, as you get up, you were able to definitely hear that like all of this fighting is coming from behind the store.
So, do we want to just kick this door in and like go punch things?
I think so. Do we want to try to negotiate, or do we just want to like blow something up?
And you did a really good job of blowing stuff up earlier.
But-
Well, I pushed him.
But we don't want to blow up the princess, right? We want to save the princess.
Correct.
Krenko looks at you, Inga, and goes, shh. Open door.
Invisibility. Oh,
Oh, that's
Great.
real handy.
right. I will make us all invisible.
Nice.
I have to
How you
see.
gonna do that?
Let me see.
I will.
I have to see how invisible, how much invisible you have based on what I have on the sheet.
Only enough invisible for the three of us. Crinkle will just be floating in the air through the room.
I can make up to two of us invisible, I think. Unless it's a greater.
You
But
can make.
I think
you can
that's
you
just
you
one.
can make
That's
one
still
of
just
you
one.
invisible.
I
It
can
is a
make
greater.
okay. I can make one. I can make one of us invisible.
All right.
Krenko will point and be like, inside, busman. Oh no, murder, friends, help.
Okay. Okay. A little distraction.
Yeah.
Lull them into a false sense of security, and then maybe, we can make you invisible, and send you in so you can get closer in to punch.
Yeah.
What if we make me invisible, but Krinko not, and he
Yes.
stays strapped on me, and I can just kind of like crab walk, so it looks like he's walking, and then when they least suspect it, pow! I punch
I
him.
feel like that's gonna require like a performance check or something, and
We don't know how good you are at performing. We haven't figured that one out yet.
I'm very flexible. Clearly, I was doing all the jumping and stuff. I'm pretty sure I did at least 2 splits.
Here, before you're invisible, just show us how it would work.
All right.
And make it convincing.
Okay, I am gonna need both an acrobatics check and a performance check. The acrobatics check for how well you're able to get into a position where it can look like Krinko is walking while still kind of strapped to you, and then performance check for how insane it is.
The acrobatics
Insane.
check was a 12 plus 6.
Great,
And
you
the
are able to get
performance
low.
and the performance check was a 17.
Which becomes a 16. Passable. Passable. The biggest thing that y'all notice observing this again without the invisibility on is you do notice that Elle takes a lot of space. Like in order to get this low, like Shota gets low, but is very sprawled. So if this is like goblin-sized corridors, very high likelihood of bumping into something.
Yeah.
Okay. Krinko, if we send you in there,
yeah,
and you betray us, then you're gonna be as dead as everybody else in the room. Got it? Yeah.
You
Elmo's gonna cover his ears and whisper, "Why did you say that?"
snacks.
Snacks.
Friends.
Snacks.
Snacks
I have
friends.
more. I have more
Snacks
snacks.
friends.
Snacks friends.
Boss man mean. No snacks.
Great. Okay. Great.
Okay.
No murder? No murder?
Murder. Not princess. Not fancy lady. No. Not murder you.
Okay.
Murder boss bookman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not fancy lady.
No.
Not
Scary.
not anybody with picture like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ropes? Murder ropes? Murder ropes, magic bookman?
Magic bookman, yes. Yeah.
Elmo's gonna untie him and like gently set him down, and then Elmo's gonna kind of lean down like on one knee and just hold his little tiny shoulders.
Yeah.
And go, "Listen, son, I love you, but you need to be brave. We'll find a nice cabin in the woods after this, and you can have all the snacks. And we can murder if you want to murder."
Never have dad murdered. Like hugs your leg.
And then Elmo just hugs me. "All right, go get him, Tiger."
Okay.
Invisible on Elmo.
Cool. Gotta make Gonna make some notes. Cool. Elmo goes invisible. Krenko goes over to door, turns back around, kind of looks at you, and like gives you like double thumbs up, and then like the sign. And then turns to the door, takes a deep breath, and goes, and starts like just like spewing like this like just string of like weird goblin that just sounds like extreme like terrified panic. Starts it actually off quiet and then gets louder like he's running up to the door. Gonna let Kriko roll a performance check. That was a 19 on the die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, he's a
Good boy.
natural.
That's my boy.
He has learned very quickly in his desire to not get slaughtered like all of his shitty friends. And then he just like controlled flings the door open, like ganks it open enough that clearly he's making room for bigger people to get through, but he leaves enough of a gap that you guys can be kind of pressed against the wall to be out of sightline. And he just goes like running in, like flailing his arms and just like shrieking like he's in the full-blown panic.
Well, Elmo will follow him in invisible.
Yeah, Elmo, you immediately walk in. Flower and Inga, where would you like to position yourselves before I describe the scene before you?
I think like I just want to be ready to jump in and mock someone, but I think you should be closer than me.
I feel like standing just next to the door, so if anyone comes running through.
Good, very good.
I'm. Can I have my longsword in one hand and my flail in the other?
I will allow it. Yes.
All right, I've got both ready.
I will also say, because of that detection that you cast earlier, which was a detect magic, more so than a detect good and evil, as soon as this door opens, particularly, you get a strong sense of magic. I'm going to allow this to be like the tail end of that spell because I think it's more narratively interesting. You get a sense of a lot of magic in here, but you also very specifically get a sense of magic that like almost like connects to you. Like you feel like maybe something that belongs to you is inside this room. Like possibly something that you are attuned to. Is inside this room. But yeah, you kind of post up like right behind the door where you can just kind of peek but be a little bit out of sight. Inga, you were like prepped and ready. Elmo, you walk in and what you see is 3 humanoid figures in robes. One of them has very fancy robes and has the hood off. The other 2 have less fancy robes with the hoods on. Picture like just the absolute most stereotypical, like these guys are in a cult vibe that you can possibly picture, and you are correct. Just like 2 of them are like, you know, like dark purple robes that are kind of plain, and then one of them is like fancier purple robes with like embroidery and shit on it, with like all these like arcane runes and whatever. And they're the two minions, we'll say, are kind of a little bit off to the side, look like they're like not totally sure what to do with the situation, which has also now been made even more chaotic by the screaming goblin that came running in here. Fancy robe man looks very exasperated as he's in the midst of this argument with a young lady who is just absolutely like, she is in like the biggest, floofiest fucking ball gown you have ever seen in your life. It is fully like gold threaded, embroidered, everything. It is huge. She is taking up like easily half this room with just this fucking skirt. Everything is gold. She's dripping in like gold jewelry. She's got a little gold crown on her head, gold rings, gold bracelets, like multiple layers of gold necklaces, this full-ass gold dress. She looks very upset. All of her like once perfectly coiffed blonde curls are a little bit disheveled, but like just barely. But you also notice that like she is steaming, literally. Like, she looks infuriated, and there is like actual literal steam coming out of her nostrils as she is yelling at this man. And then Krakow just goes running in, screaming in Goblin. And just absolutely everyone just kind of like stops what they're doing and like looks. You are also quickly able to assess none of these people speak Goblin either. They also have no idea. Like, Inga, you are picking up that he is screaming out some sort of story about
speech.
Yeah, like, no, he's got a whole saga. You've gotten a little better over the last half hour of talking to him and picking up some of the goblinoid words. He seems to be telling a story about how like winged lizard monsters descended from the sky and tried to eat him and got all of his friends.
Yeah.
And
they do that.
there's definitely words like revenge and danger and we're the bad guys. No one seems to have a clue what he's talking about, though. Poor guy. He tried.
He did so. He succeeded.
But yeah, he is definitely causing a massive distraction. Elmo, you are easily able to like duck into this room and kind of just like bop off to the side so you're not blocking the door and take this scene in. The room itself, kind of small, again, like definitely sized for maybe goblins, but goblins are much smaller than humanoids. So like this is definitely going to be like a potentially close quarters situation in this room, but you can also see kind of behind the two minions there is an open passageway that seems to lead into like a much larger cavern. So you get the sense that there is a much more spacious area just beyond this kind of immediate like antechamber that they are in. And you do see that there's like a stack of like tiny shitty goblin-sized bedrolls that have been all like shoved into a corner, and there's like a big stew pot that was over a fire over in the other corner that's like not really been tended to in a minute. You know, snacks, nap time, hiding.
Could I move in such a way to get a little more information about that space that I can't really see? Like, are there other goblins tied up over there, or are they like shackled, or are they just like
doesn't look like anybody else is in here. It looks like what is beyond is probably like a natural cave, and this piece was like the piece that was like dug out to connect to the dug out tunnels and connect that tunnel to this like cave space to help start to create this network of traveling under the forest.
Elmo, I think, would want to get close to the fancy robes. Looks like he's the leader guy.
Oh yeah, you can like kind of slip up on him. Get right up next to him, or sort of like a little bit behind him. For the visuals, essentially picture you've got fancy robe guy squared off with princess. You've got your like minions kind of over by this doorway. And then Craig just like runs directly into the building. Basically, he's making a beeline for this like doorway into the open space that cuts directly through the middle of everybody to create like the biggest amount of distraction possible.
Attaboy. Well, I don't think Elmo is the type to be too sneaky for too long, so Elmo's just gonna like stick his hand right into the fancy man's mouth and just latch onto his lower jaw.
Just grab him by the face. Oh, honestly, sorry, I got briefly distracted just like visualizing that. Go ahead and give me an unarmed attack with advantage, because you're invisible until this happens. So you're like, this will probably pop you out of invisibility because it's going to count as an attack, but like you're going to have a grip on this dude's face. So like, sure.
All I got was an 11 with advantage.
Okay. That's fine. You still get a +6 to that for an unarmed, so that's still a 17. Let me find the stat block that I pulled for this asshole. Oh yeah, that like that even gets past his mage armor. Like you just fully like this. Everybody's looking at this like shrieking goblin that comes running through the middle, and suddenly this giant metallic humanoid is like appears as you like shove your hand into this guy's mouth and just grab his jaw. Do you say anything or do you just like stand there?
I just whisper, I hear you like to pick on goblins, and then I just pull down on his jaw as hard as I can.
Okay. We're saying
Nobody
that the
messes
attack
with my son.
we're saying that the attack hits, so go ahead and roll me a d6 of damage.
That would be a 6.
He's a wizard. That's all he has.
It's got a little more than that, but I will say, much like you guys are fucked up from the former fight, so are they. So they are also down from their normal level. Cool.
I
Sorry,
thought as if he's a
you-
wizard, he can't really talk to say any spells.
Yeah, you said you rolled a 6 on the die?
Yeah.
Great, I'm just making sure. Cool, and that adds a +3. So that is 9 points of damage to Shitty Wizard Man, and also, like, you've got your hand in his mouth, and he can't really talk, so that is gonna be a problem for him. As you do this, I think I'm going to go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, because you have just appeared and clearly made a threat to this dude and his buddies.
13 plus 3, so 16.
Okay.
Total of 13.
19 plus 1 is 20.
Ooh.
Okay, I have to pull up one quick. Don't worry, this will not be a long fight based on how we have started this, but I do have to pull up one additional stat block that I forgot to grab.
And it's Kranko, and he's secretly a level 10 barbarian.
You guys didn't know that Kranko is actually a level 20 warlock. He just doesn't have the pact that lets you speak universal languages, unfortunately. Oops. No, I gotta... is that the one I want? I think this is the one I want. Yeah, that's the one I want. Cool. Great. Lovely. Okay. That was a... who was the 16?
Me.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Standing out in the hallway like, oh, sounds like it's off to a great start in there.
Yeah, this seems fine.
Did you just hear a grown man cry?
I think that's the sound of a wizard weeping. Weird.
It's my personal favorite sound. Could fall asleep to that.
Every time. Cool. All right. We're calling that the surprise round. Then we're going to go to top of the order. Top of the order is going to be Flower with Elmo on deck. Because once again, all my guys rolled bad.
Okay. Well, Flower has been looking through the little crack in the door. And this seems like a good time to go in guns blazing. And so
Pew pew.
I'm going to... The wizard... The fancy wizard robe guy is closest to me.
We have Boss Man and we have 2 minions.
Okay,
Boss Man is definitely closer to the door.
Okay, well, I'm going to hit Boss Man with my sensor.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 7, and I don't know what my bonus is on that.
Let me get to the correct page. You have a +5.
So
to
that
hit on
is going to be 12 to hit.
Amazing. A 12 is going to miss.
Okay.
Does she have advantage since I'm holding him by the jaw?
Yes, he is grappled at this point.
Okay.
I will give you advantage on this.
So that is a 19 plus 5.
That will hit,
So-
even with his mage armor. We have established
Okay.
I'm just gonna say you guys could, he already came out of one fight with you. He's got his mage armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the initial damage is 1d8 plus 2, so 7 plus 2 is 9, but also an extra 1d8 radiant damage, and that is another 6 radiant. So 9 regular and 6 radiant.
9 regular and 6 radiant. Boy, howdy.
And then I'm going to hit him with my longsword.
Okay.
So that is a 17 plus 5, so 22.
That is also gonna hit.
And that one is only 2 plus 4 points of damage.
Okay. This guy looks immediately just incredibly wrecked. Like, he's got this metal, this metal humanoid just, like, gripping him by the jaw from behind, and then this, like, warrior knight just runs in and just 1, 2, just absolutely slams into this guy.
Can I pour some extra damage into him because those were melee weapon attacks? Do I have Divine Smite?
You do in fact have the power of God and anime on your side.
Excellent.
So you can in fact pour a Divine Smite into that if you would like.
So that is an extra 2d8 for a first level spell slot.
Uh-huh.
Do I have second one available?
You do in fact have some second level. You feel like you could up level that spell.
I'm going to use a third level or second level then for 3d8 of extra damage. Which may be overkill, I don't know. So that is 3, and 5 is 8, and 3 is 11 extra points of damage.
Is there going to be like a holy light and then I'm going to blink and I'm just going to be holding a skull?
I really hope so.
That is almost exactly what happens. There's this flare of like glorious radiant light. You guys literally hear almost like choirs of angels just like ah! And there is this flash and this dude just like crumples in your arms and you're basically now just holding a corpse. Like, this was an insane amount of overkill considering that this guy was already hurt. But, you know, like, so you're now just, like, holding this, like, slumped over guy by the face. The two little, like, minion dudes just, like, their eyes are taking up their entire face. They look absolutely terrified. And the woman in the fancy dress just looks and she's like, ah! Finally! Oh my god, I thought everybody was dead.
Sorry, we had to wake up first.
No, that's fine. I totally get it. You guys did, like, a lot, and there was, like, a lot happening, and it was, like, rough, and I'm, like, kind of glad you're not dead, but also, like, oh my god, I had to deal with these assholes, and they kept sticking me in that trunk, and, like, I can't get my breath weapon back, and it fucking sucks, because I keep rolling 2s.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, it's fine. I get it. Dad always says you have to try to ration your skills and whatever, and I don't see why I should have to, like, wait to get that back when I could just be doing it all the time!
Right? It's so frustrating.
As this guy collapses in your arms, Elmo, you are all suddenly sort of, like, you almost, like, feel this wave of, like, magic, like, release on your minds. Oh. And there's this flood of memory that just instantly comes back to you as this guy collapses. And you suddenly start to remember, like, a lot. It's a little bit overwhelming at first because it's just this, like, rush of, like, it's images and words and names and everything, and you all suddenly remember, yeah, like, you work in service to the Golden Dragon King. of this country. Like, this is like a very prestigious role that you have. Elmo and Anthos, you have both been members of the King's Guard for years, honestly, and it was, a little annoying because the princess is kind of, she's still got a little bit, like, she's a young dragon, so she's got a little bit of that, like, teenage angst going on, but, like, it's a very prestigious honor, and it's always fun to travel, right? Go to see the festivals, go oversee this blessing of the egg. A new dragon egg has been found. And so all of the dragon kingdoms are coming together to perform the blessing and, like, place their magic into the egg to help give it hope of hatching. And gambling Luxor, you've been traveling around for a while. It's time to settle down, get like a home base. And the princess is, like, really into your vibe because you've got performance, but you've got party. And that's really what she needs. And it's it's always a wild time partying with dragons, but you're up for I mean, you've been through the hells at least once. This can't be any weirder than that, right? So being sort of a, like, they don't like the term jester because it's not necessarily jokes, but sort of court entertainer. It's been a really sweet gig. It's just been a wild time. The last few years, as more of these incursions has happened, more of these mages trying to sap the dragon's powers, and it's been fine. It's just been a little weird. You guys have these flashbacks to this fight as all of these goblins and cultists attacked the caravan. Elmo, you remember unleashing your breath of the dragon and just taking out, like, several of these goblins, probably ones you didn't even notice were gone because their ashes were just mixed into the mud that got churned up in the rest of the fight after you fully annihilated them. Luxor, you absolutely used your gift of the dragon to fly up and get an overhead so that you could cast these spells down. And Anthos, you remember summoning your steed, this great golden sort of Pegasus dragon hybrid, to try to get higher ground. And you all realize this is probably what saved your lives, was the fact that you all were able to use these draconic gifts given to you to get above the fight. So while you took damage, the thing that really got to you was whatever spell this mage used that y'all kind of get the sense was not the spell he intended, but was definitely the spell that caused you to black out. This rush of memory kind of comes over to you. You remember all of these things, and you suddenly kind of look around, and you look at the princess Aura, and she just looks and is like, okay, so, like, and she turns to these guys, I was gonna fry you, and you're really lucky that I can't right now because I'm just, like, super tired, but, like, you should run. Like, you should just, like, run, right? And you see her hand just sort of, like, scales start to appear and her claws sort of come out. And these two guys in ropes are just like, we can run. We can just totally, like, do you want us to run? We can stay here. We could just run. Like, we could just go. And they just, like, turn and book it out of this other room. Just like, yeah, okay. They kind of suck, right? Like, they're not, like, I don't know if it's worth it. We could chase them. I just don't know if I care that much. I don't think they can really, like, do anything. Who's this guy? He's really cute. Pointing to Craig, who has, like, basically, like, ran out into the, like, that larger room and then just, like, hid around the corner and is, like, kind of peeking out to see what happened. He's adorable. Where did you guys find him?
Oh, that's Cranko. He's my son.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I just got him.
I love seeing found family. That's, like, really sweet and really touching. I really support that. So let me know if you need anything for him. Does he like snacks?
Oh, he loves snacks.
Oh my god, amazing.
Maybe a tutor to teach him the language.
Oh yeah, we could totally. I could totally find somebody who can teach him. Hi, buddy. And she's, like, kind of like you would with, like, a small animal or something. Just kind of whatever. And he just sort of like pops out and it's just like, no murder? No
Oh,
murder?
No murder.
Murder? No murder.
No murder. No murder. Snacks.
You see he runs over to the big pot that's like over on the far side of the room and like runs up. There's like a stool to get him tall enough to be in, and he starts pulling stuff off of shelves and like dumping it in. Just looks at you guys, snacks.
Snacks.
Oh, is he going to make us snacks? Aw.
Starts dumping a bunch of stuff into this thing.
It's a little questionable.
Yeah, you might want to be careful. I'm pretty sure one of those bottles has like warg ears in it or something, which like I'm personally fine with. They're kind of like, you know, pork cracklings, but I don't know how all of you feel about them. So it's just like, you know, be careful. I don't know where they source their ingredients from.
Yeah.
I don't know if everything's organic. Oh my god, I should probably have snacks myself. It's been like 3 whole hours and I don't want to break my ketosis because I need to fit in the good dresses for the rest of the festival. Oh my god, are we gonna be late for the festival?
We are definitely gonna be late, but
Damn it!
Fashionably
god.
late.
Do I have to call Dad and ask for a ride? I don't want to have to tell him about this happening. He's gonna get so worried.
He'll probably notice.
Yeah,
I mean,
all the other people not being alive will tip him off.
And not arriving with the horses in the carriage.
I hate it when people die when we're traveling. There's so much paperwork. It's so okay. I'll get out a message and maybe we can call a cleric and like try to get some of them revived or something. Were they like intact? Can we like resurrect them or something? Because I feel really bad if they die in my service.
Most of them seem to be mostly in one piece, right? Maybe a few limbs missing. But...
I'll put out a request and we can just maybe we can get going and hopefully the green dragons aren't like too mad that we're late for the like we're not gonna miss the ceremony because they always do that on like the 3rd day, so we should be fine.
Oh yeah, just fashionably late. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to I can fly you? Like I can like I should be able to fly all of us. That should be
great.
fine.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, yeah, or maybe we can take turns. Maybe you can like summon your steed, and like I can carry some, and you can carry some, and we can just kind of get a jump on things. Okay. It's so annoying. I just wanted like a nice normal trip where all we had to deal with was like a couple of bandits and maybe some like shitty boars or something. I'm really tired of all the cultists. So annoying.
There's so many lately.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you guys need like some healing or something? There's like a bunch of potions in that trunk that they dragged me in. I don't think they realized what they were. Yeah, you should just go chug some of those.
Almost like still holding this guy's corpse by the jaw.
Yeah, just like
it's just been standing here the whole time, and they're just gonna look over at Krinko and go, "Hey, buddy, you want a souvenir? Like a trinket?" And he's just gonna set the corpse down, still holding the jaw, and put his knee and just pull.
Yeah, you just wrench this jaw off. Right, Kirko looks like so genuinely touched that you would think of him. Princess Aura looks like, I don't want to be like weird or anything, but like, is anybody else gonna eat that, or can I just?
You can have the rest.
Do we just need to like not tell anybody about broken diets?
Well, I mean, like, as long as I like pick around the like fatty parts, it should be fine, I think.
Yes.
Oh, he's not skinny.
And we did tenderize him.
Yeah. Do people have gluten in them?
No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, this should be fine.
I was
that's
thinking more
keto-friendly.
in the like vegan end of things, but
no, Dad's
know,
really trying to convince me on the like tofu thing, and it just sometimes you just have a craving, right?
Sometimes you need a cheat day.
Just this has been a stressful situation. I think I deserve a cheat day.
Absolutely,
yeah, I do too.
Yes.
Have at it.
Right, I'll just go into the other room, and she just like grabs the like front of this guy's like robes and just like one hand hoists him up and just like heads out of there. Just like maneuver her like. Oh yeah, sure, totally. Yeah, no. If you guys want to like, raid for like treasure and shit, there's like a whole like box of like shiny stuff over in the corner. I didn't look to see if any of it was real because I was too busy trying to like roast this guy. Have fun though. And she just like disappears into the other room. You guys are able to pick through some of the boxes and findings. Anthos, you find a shield that you immediately are like, yes,
Yes.
this is normally what I do. This feels more like the dual wheel or the two-handed wielding like worked,
Was
but like
cool,
this
but
shield feels very comfortable on your arm, and it seems to like be connected to you. Luxor, you are able to quickly find like a whole bunch of jewels, and you can kind of do that immediately, like it's garbage, it's paste, it's glass, this one's real, and kind of start picking through, finding some of these good jewels. Things like that. Elmo, you find a couple of potions in one of the boxes that feel like might be just handy to have on hand for later, maybe. You're able to gather some stuff up. Krenko, who seems thrilled to have large friends who are not immediately trying to kill him and actually are in fact improving his quality of life, makes you guys a very strange but delicious, like kind of potato soup situation.
okay.
Lots of seasonings, some of which you probably don't want to ask about, but you know, it's tasty. And the princess comes in after, you know, maybe 15-20 minutes, sort of like on the fingers, and just her eyes are much more like lizard like than usual, but she sort of blinks a few times and they go back to more humanoid. She goes, right, okay, so yeah, just whenever you guys are done, take a rest, like take a little nap. At this point, if we're late, we're just gonna be late and we're just gonna make it a thing, right? So just, you know, we'll get a rest and then we'll get going. It'll be fine. You guys are able to take a nice little rest as you continue off to the festival, having completed your duties in the absolute most bizarre way possible. And that will end today's absolute batshit amnesia run.
That was fantastic.
That was fun.
Cool. Thank you all for playing, and I guess I'll kick it back to Danny to
Yeah.
exit us out.
Thank you all for joining us tonight. This was fantastic having everyone. We've already talked about where you can find us. Check out Quest and Chaos. Check out the rest of the stuff on Majestic Goose. We are around. We've got next week. What do we have next week? Next week is That's Pretty Crafty on Tuesday. And I think that's the only thing we've got streaming next week. But keep an eye on all of the socials. Keep an eye on our Discord. We will let you know before we actually play things. And we should be back in about a month's time for another episode of Meme of the Month. And I look forward to more chaos with all of our chaotic crew.
Yeah.
For now, I think that is it for the night. It was lovely seeing everyone. Glad everyone was in chat. Lovely to see you there. Until next month, have fun. Bye.
Bye.